Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Today is March the 12th, it's about 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to talk about Ripple. It's been a few days since I've done an update on Ripple. I think the last time I did one was March 8th, and just to let you guys know, I actually created a new steemit account as well, so I'd really appreciate an upvote on there, and make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share, so you guys can find my new steemit, which I'll link at the bottom of this page. If you guys, I know that the majority of you guys already have a steemit account there, and I really appreciate you making an account just to follow me if that's what you did. Then it's a lot of my charts are going to be linked there as well, so you can head over there, you can follow me, you can upvote as well, and give me that 1 or 2 cents per upvote. You know, I get like $5–10 per post or something, and it just makes me feel good about, you know, getting a few bucks here and there for some posts that I make. So let's talk about Ripple. For the new people that are coming into technical analysis, make it a habit, guys. Make it a habit every single day to check the market cap. Okay, go to coinmarketcap.com and check it out there. So we see Ripple at a hard rank number 3 as always, right? It's not going to move to number 2. It's not going to overtake Ripple anytime soon. I mean, Ethereum, it's not going to, Bitcoin Cash is not going to take Ripple anytime soon as well. And we're always seeing Litecoin, Cardano, and Neo ranked number 5, 6, and 7 respectively. I could see, or sorry, not Litecoin, I mean Cardano, Neo, and Stellar always ranked respectively here. I do expect Cardano to make a little bit of a leap in the next few weeks. It's severely oversold right now, so Cardano, that's why I touched up on Cardano, despite me trading it or not. I just wanted to touch it up for the general public because I do believe that top 10 cryptocurrencies should definitely be followed. This is actually the second time that I've made this video because I just did like an update on my computer, and the update actually defaulted to like one of my other microphones that's not connected, so I was actually talking into nothing the entire time there. So Ripple, always check the coin market cap, and then once you get there, click on the historical data. After you click on historical data, you can easily see that you can check out the 24-hour volume. So the reason why we check out the 24-hour volume is simply because we want to see how interested the market is. The higher that we see the volume start to trend over the next few days, the more we can see the general public more interested in it. Now, a few days ago, right, we saw Bitcoin dropping fairly low there to the 8,300 ranges, and that's where Ripple, of course, had a hard sell-off, and more people rushed into the market to start buying it around the 74–75 cent range. And that's when we reached about $1 billion in market cap there, or sorry, 24-hour volume. Then we, you know, did a hard 402 million, then 472 million. But if you look at today, $354 million so far, and the daily candle has already closed already. I'm going to show you guys how to check out the daily candle close as well, okay? It's different from every single person, but for myself, like time-wise that is, at the same time, right? But for myself, it's 6 p.m. Central Standard Time is what I meant to say. So we see the volume just, you know, it's very, very low right now, so we got to be wondering, where is the buyers? Why are they not rushing in to you know, defend the price right now? So let's go over to Ripple. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, like it's for me like UTC time, right? Mine just actually closed actually about 30 minutes ago. My mistake there. So if you guys go to UTC on any exchange, that's the time that it closes at midnight. So I'm always on UTC 5 because I'm in like Chicago time, which is Central Standard Time. So the people that are new to technical analysis, the first thing that you always want to do is establish some sort of trend line that's going to act as a support and resistance. So what we see here is an easy trend line that's connecting this relevant point right here, okay? Connect the relevant points. That's the most basic way you can do a technical analysis if you guys are new. This is going to establish some sort of support levels and some sort of resistance levels as well. So we see clear points, for example, there, here, and here. And trend lines can come in many shapes and forms, right? They can come in a horizontal support, okay? Like something like that, for example, or horizontal resistance. And they can also come sloped as well. I call them a slope trend line because of it sloping and not being horizontal, right? So then the next thing we do is we want to take the top end as well and try to connect them as best as we possibly can. And what we see and be consistent, right? If you're going to connect it from the top end, try to connect all of them to the top as best as you can as well. And sometimes you will see some wicks poking out of it, and what we call these are basically traps. So these would be considered bull traps, right? So we see a hard support right there and right here as well. So we're actually inching much lower to this support region. And we've got to make note of one thing for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin started correcting very heavily on the date of December 17. And because it started to correct heavily, you would imagine that it would drag down every single coin, right? But it actually didn't drag down every coin. Some coins like EOS, like NEO, they went on a rampage and they just said, you know what, forget about what Bitcoin's doing. Let's just keep going up anyways. So you see on the date of December 17 right here, that Ripple did not really get affected at all by Bitcoin. And can you guys imagine the amount of people that were holding Ripple from like 22, 23 cents, right? And then it skyrockets to, we're talking like 90 cents right there. And then it goes up even higher to $1.25. And that's where a lot of people, guys, ended up taking profit, okay? Tons of people ended up taking profit right here. Just imagine, guys, if you guys don't know how to check the high and the low, just look on the top left usually of TradingView and you'll see it. So here there was a massive dump from $1.25 all the way to 42 cents that day. We're talking about a 66% drop in price in a single day. This was probably the biggest drop that I've ever seen in any cryptocurrency in a single day so far. Yeah, that's a massive drop, guys, if you guys were around for that. I was on vacation for about a month in all of December, but I was still following my coins, and I saw that Ripple drop 66%. And then when I came back in January, it was around January 2nd right there, I ended up buying into position from about 218, and I sold it at the end of this daily candle close. And then I ended up shorting it really hard from about $3 to, I think it was about $1.60, so that was a really nice profit for a 50% gain there. Yeah, so now Ripple is actually really struggling, guys. Despite me not following, or talking rather, about a lot of fundamental news, we got to remember what Ripple is trying to do. First of all, they need to establish themselves as some sort of player in the industry for the fintech, right? What they're trying to do is disrupt the fintech industry by transferring large amounts of money fast and cheap as well. I'm not sure if they're going to be aiming to disrupt any type of, merchant system, but I know that they're definitely doing it amongst banks for large transfers, right? And if you guys remember on October 27, when they held their Swift conference, or sorry, their Swell conference in Toronto alongside Swift there, Swift is the other big player right now who's the monopoly in the industry. So what Swift is trying to do is they're trying to become an oligopoly, which is having multiple parties that can not let one party monopolize the industry, right? And right now, Swift, they're the big players. They're the old-fashioned system. Ripple decided to have a conference alongside Swift that same day as well, because they wanted to make a statement and say, you know what, there's another player in town right now, and we just want you guys to know that you guys are not alone. So Ripple fundamentally, despite people thinking that it's there's a lot of issues right now, right? There's a lot of issues with it being considered centralized, right? And you could consider it centralized because a lot of the big banks are controlling these nodes, right? So is it actually decentralized if a lot of these big banks are controlling the nodes? So yeah, anyways, we're not going to get into the fundamental side, but yeah, I do follow fundamentals as well, guys, and I'm starting to swing a lot more. I'm not really day trading / scalping as much right now because I'm enjoying these swing positions more. I don't have to trade as much, despite me not making as much money scalping, right? I specialize in scalping, so of course I would generally make a lot more money from that since that's my specialty, but I'm finding more time to follow fundamental news, finding more time to go out, finding more time to watch movies and just catch up on fundamental news, or just watching my favorite crypto channels as well. So yeah, I definitely follow it as well, despite me not talking about it a lot there, right? Now that we have our supports and our resistances established, guys, it's just a matter of the waiting game, right? We've easily counted a lot of these waves over here already coming down, and it's honestly just a matter of waiting, guys. Like we have to literally just wait. If we counted it, we would count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's B, and here it'd probably be 1, 2, 3. Or sorry, this makes 5 waves in here already as well. You know what, I've counted in my last video, and I don't think I want to do a very detailed count on it as well, but I think I called this ABC, and this was X right here, okay? Just to catch up some of the newer viewers to my channel here, I called that ABC, and I called this an X, where it attempted to break upwards, but it just simply could not go up. And then we ended up getting a simple Y down there for a WXY type of correction with another ABC. So this was the attempt for the impulse wave up, and the X denotes a failure. So we get a normal zigzag correction coming down. I think this actually made a really decent extension as well. Yeah, it made a pretty good 786 extension over here. And then X denotes the failure, where it tried to make an impulse wave up, but it corrected more than 100%, and there were some failures along the way. So it got an extended WXY double Elliot wave combo. And then now we basically got a wave up, right? Basically got a wave up right here, and it's just a matter of the waiting game now, guys, to see what's going to happen, right? Are we going to get another wave failure right here? Because this could very well be a WXYZ type of correction, and let me explain to you guys what that is right here. So the people that don't know what extended corrections are, we get, first of all, 5 Elliot waves going up. Impulse waves always move in 5 waves like that. And then sometimes you actually get an ABC coming down like this, okay? So once you get an ABC and it finishes its entire 5, let's say it did a 5, 3, 5 coming down, it tries to break out to an impulse wave to begin wave 2. Because this, remember, is wave 1, right? And this is wave 2 right here like that. And sometimes it fails along the way. So then what ends up happening is it makes these extended corrections. And then now, instead of getting a 3-wave structure, what we actually get is a 7-wave structure like this right here. And then we get another impulse wave going up like that. If that fails, which is pretty much where we are right now, then we would consider this another impulse wave failure to make an 11-wave structure. So instead of getting a WXY correction, we actually get a W with an X that denotes failure, with a Y that denotes the end of the ABC, another X going up like that, which denotes another failure, and then we get another Z to finish the completion of the 11-wave structure. And these don't really happen often, but I just have a feeling it's going to end up happening. We cannot deny the fact that Bitcoin right now has 2 possible counts, right? It's got a bullish count and it's got a bearish count. And a lot of people are actually looking and saying that Bitcoin could possibly hit the 7,200 ranges. So if it actually does hit this 8,200 range, if it does hit it, I don't think Ripple is going to be, I don't think Ripple is going to be taken up a notch this year, guys. They've already made their statement that they're another big player in the industry. Nothing fundamentally is really being developed right now. Okay, I do believe that Ripple and Litecoin are definitely going to be one of those coins that's going to reach some amazing highs down the road. But, you know, not anytime soon, okay? Not anytime soon. So I do believe that if Bitcoin does end up correcting further to the 8,200 ranges, then we're probably going to see extended corrections for Ripple as well, right? And I understand why so many people are upset with Ripple, right? I mean, let's look at the retracement. For the people that don't know what retracement is, go to your tool right here. Go to your Fib retracement tool right there, and then you click on where it originally began the uptrend, and then go all the way up to where the uptrend reached. Now, you don't need to click on it right there. You can go just sideways to where it is right there, okay? Now, this shows you how far it has moved back down. So it's once in a while, I like to explain what it means. So let's say that we have something that goes like that upwards. We have a wave, right? Now, we do it from the beginning right here. If it fell back down and it corrected all the way to the 0.5 region, that means that it corrected, for example, 50%, right? 50%, just to give you guys an example. Or let's say we start off, it hit 382. That means it retraced 38.2% of the original wave. Now, if it went down to the 0.5 region of Fibonacci, then that clearly means that it reached 50% of the original wave. If it goes down all the way to the 618 region, that means it reached 61.8%, right? So if it went down to 78.6 right there, it kind of makes sense. So if it goes all the way back to the beginning, then clearly it reached a 100% level. So that's what these Fibonacci numbers refer to. And every time it reaches one of these key points, it acts as a resistance. These Fibonacci numbers are basically found in nature, right? It creates a ratio. And what we see right now is that it's actually retraced a heavy amount already. Like, we're talking about a really heavy amount, guys, okay? We're talking about even below the 786 Fibonacci region right here, okay? And right now, the only thing holding it up right now with its saving grace is basically this trendline resistance and support, or sorry, trendline support. So let's look at the daily candle and see how it is. We see a hammer there with that lot of volume that I was mentioning where it reached $1 billion, and then we waned off, guys. We simply waned off to the 400 millions, 500 millions right there. And this one here that we closed off just yesterday was at 375 million. So the volume is absolutely dying down right now, okay? If we look at the MACD as well, it's kind of at a neutral territory and has been so since February the 25th, right? The MACD as well, it's been a neutral territory. It's actually losing strength if we look at it that way, okay? It's losing strength that way. It's almost in a sideways motion where it's actually losing tons of strength. If you draw your RSI and you connect the top points right there just like that, well, that's going to show you how it's losing strength over time. Like, just as an example, right here, we simply just see it kind of losing strength right there. And a lot of people easily were able to tell that was the top, right? As soon as we went from here to here, we can easily say, okay, well, it's definitely losing strength right now. And if we connected this specific point right there, we easily see it losing strength as well. And when this point peaked, the next candle actually signaled a gigantic downtrend, as you guys can see. Here, we lost a lot of strength. Next candle right there, boom, people actually entered a massive downtrend. So if we look on the 12-hour chart here as well, we're not really seeing a lot, guys. We're definitely not seeing a lot. In fact, what we are seeing, right, in terms of uptrend, we're not seeing a lot. In fact, what we are seeing is an inverted flag. Now, you guys know what a flag pattern is, right, for an uptrend. You guys know exactly what it is, where it makes something like that, right, and then it makes a few touches like that, and then it comes down, and then boom, it breaks upwards. That's a very bullish pattern. Now, if you think of it from the opposite way on a downtrend, where it goes like that, and it goes like that, and it goes like that, right? Now, it makes a few touches like this, for example, and it breaks back down. Unfortunately, you can also see it on RSI as well, okay? You can see it on the RSI, and what you're seeing is that, no, it has no momentum to go up on a 12-hour chart, guys. You know, it might make just one more round up somewhere, and I believe that it's going to come down, unfortunately, because it's going to go down with Bitcoin. Because of the lack of buyers already not rushing in, there's only one way that we can easily see it go. Now, despite this looking like it wants to curve upwards, it's not, guys. It's not right now. It hasn't even positively upticked to the histogram since March 6th. So then we just keep going down these time frames, right? And we can start to see it here already as well. Now, I may be entirely wrong, guys, right? I may be entirely wrong, and this formation might not even play out, but there's a high chance that it's going to break down because it's simply not wanting to bounce. If you guys caught my previous videos there, on March 9, I simply recommended going to a long position, right along this trend line right here. I recommended targeting. I recommended keeping a stop loss at about 72, 73 cents, and I recommended targeting about 93 cents or so, but I just don't see that happening, guys. I'm sorry to say, but I just simply do not see that happening anytime soon. I mean, we're facing with some massive resistance areas right here, right at the 82 cents range, and we've tried for how many days now to break it? How many times can we attempt to break something before it is actually given up, right? So if I can give any advice to any of you guys, is that you got to wait for key resistance and support areas to be broken before entering a trade. So you have basically one of three options right now, okay? Actually, one of four options. If you guys are actually thinking of going to trade, okay, If you guys just have itchy hands right now and you need to trade, well, set your stop loss really low. We got to play the game of probabilities, and the game of probability right now is there's not too much opportunity, guys. So if you wanted to target, you know, for example, the 82-83 cent range, if you went into a position right now, there's no confirmation of an uptrend. I just want to be clear about that. In fact, we see the volume slowly start to die off. Okay, look at the moving average for the volume right here, this line, and if we just simply connect the top or even the average in the middle, we can easily see that starting to downtrend. And the moving average is also implicative and indicative that it's showing that's coming down. So if you entered a long position, okay, well, you'd be targeting your 83 cent range. You'd be setting your stop loss slightly below the swing low position right here. Swing low just basically means your most recent low position. So set a stop loss slightly lower than it. Your risk to reward is decent at 2.36, right? Not bad, pretty decent right there, okay? You get a chance to gain 6%. I don't see that as the best trade in my opinion, but if you are dying to get into a trade, that's one possibility. Another possibility to go long is you actually be patient and you wait for a breakout above it, right? You wait for a breakout above it and you target somewhere up to this trend line resistance, which could be at about 90 cents, we'll say, okay? 90 cents you would target. You would set your stop loss, say at about 80, I don't know, 80 cents, 81 cents or so, okay? Or 81.5 cents. You got yourself a risk to reward of 3.25 to 1. Decent. You get a chance to win up to 8%. You get a chance to lose about 2% right there. Now the other option, of course, is to enter a short position. But if you enter a short position, where is your stop loss? You'd have to set your stop loss for pretty high, guys, because that's the most recent swing high position right now, right? Where would you target? You'd probably target to the most recent or one of the previous swing lows. Well, that's a pretty bad risk to reward, 1.15, right? Chance to win 6%, chance to lose 6%. Not really the best trade to take, guys, in my opinion, okay? So, and the last option as well, of course, is to go for your this target right here, literally, right? If we end up getting a Bitcoin 6K scenario, if you entered a short position, right? Let's say you entered a short right now, you'd be entering it right here. You would set your, you know, your target right down over here, and you would set your stop loss for around perhaps 84 cents. That's the recent swing high. Now this is a pretty decent setup as well, 3.55 to 1. So that's basically your 4 options that you have right now. You wait for a breakout to go long. You go long right now and you set your stop loss slightly below the swing low, or you short right now and you can target, for example, here if you want, right? Or you wait for a breakout as well. Wait for a Bitcoin breakout to go down, and then you short it as Bitcoin goes down as well, and you target the 57 cent range right there, right? So we have to make sure that we're mindful of these things that are happening. We just never ever know how they're going to play out. And unfortunately, guys, there's just not a lot of options right now. Sure, the 6-hour candle showed a doji right here, but it just doesn't really have volume, guys. It's just not showing a series of, you know, massive support regions. It's only showing a support region because it's at the trendline resistance, or sorry, support. But in terms of an actual uptrend, we're fairly range bound. Wouldn't you guys agree? I mean, look at the way that it's range bound right here, okay? Super range bound. It just doesn't really, it can't really break out of this right here. And until it breaks out of this region, people like myself who are swing traders, now I would say I'm a swing trader, it's just not worth our time to be looking at it yet, right? So I just wanted to keep you guys up to date and let you know that there's really no action right now. This whole region right here, guys, I consider it a no trade zone because there's no clear direction yet. But of course, there's always those risk takers that will want to enter a position despite anything happening or not right now. If we look at all the indicators, right, we see more bearish signs than bullish. Despite this going up, we see this histogram starting to tick downwards like that, which corrected. So one thing we know easily about Bitcoin right now and Ripple is that Ripple is following and whistling to the tune of Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin is doing, it's definitely on par with it right now as well for Ripple. So as it stands, guys, there's not really good news for Bitcoin and there's not any bad news for Bitcoin. Unfortunately, sometimes technical analysis is simply like that, okay? There's not always like amazing calls and amazing setups to take. Right now, as it stands, it's up to you guys. Your money, your risk, your reward, your choice. So if you guys are interested in one of those 4 positions that I mentioned, it is entirely up to you guys, regardless of if you take it or not. So other than that, good luck, guys. Make sure you always stay cautious with your trades. I would really appreciate an upvote on steemit on my brand new account there, guys. That would be fantastic. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the material. If you guys think that I'm doing a fantastic job, my cryptocurrency address is below, and you can make a small donation to my dog and I. Other than that, have yourselves a fantastic day, and I hope that this has given you some sort of insight for Ripple. Bye now.